Boom shakalaka, what is up guys? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today we have an episode about is the bear market over? Oh my god, blah! Could it be? So taking a look at things today, the market's bouncing back. It feels good to look at Blockfolio and see you've got some gains going on there. Money's coming back that had mysteriously vanished. Things are feeling good again. Bitcoin's back up quite a bit for the week. Some things up like 20% or more this week. But, I mean, on the daily, 3%, 10% for Cardano, 15% for Stellar, 18% for IOTA. What's the biggest gainer for today? BitShare is the biggest loser. Skycoin. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Overall market cap right now up at about $332 billion. It was down $250 billion for a little bit, but that seems like it was a little bit of a bottom now. If we take a look at things overall in terms of Bitcoin, what's going on with Bitcoin right now? Well, we have these trend lines that it's been following for quite a while in a little bit of a sideways market. Well, a bearish sideways market for that sake, but you know, although it's been painful going down, seems like we are starting to see somewhat of a bottom down there. We've actually had a break through the trend line right now, and right now we're a little bit above the $8,000 line, potentially finding some support there. Bitcoin recently, coming up soon, will be approaching the 50-day moving average and then potentially 200-day moving average thereafter. Now, what's going on with Bitcoin? Well, there was a huge buy-in the other day. On Friday, huge buy-in here, $250 million buy-in, something like that, in the market. Somebody bought a lot of Bitcoin. That helped the price jump back up. That helped give a lot of enthusiasm back to Bitcoin. A lot of people can trust it now again. But you know, that makes you think there's some institutional investors getting into Bitcoin. Now, what's causing these types of things? Well, this was a nice article I saw by CCN about, well, Bitcoin's up 15% this week, Ethereum's up 30% this week. Holy moly. The entire crypto market gained 20%. That's a lot for a week. My bank account, I don't think, saw that in the past week. Apparently, Trump's crackdown on Petro backfired, so it just brought more publicity to that whole Venezuelan Petro cryptocurrency, even from American investors. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on with things there. But the more important news, Bitcoin's rebound could continue after April 17th. So one of the potential thoughts as to why Bitcoin rebounded was now all the tax stuff is over. So people made money last year from cryptocurrencies. If they reported it, they got taxed on it, and they had to pay those taxes. Well, if they don't have the money, they have to sell crypto at a huge loss in order to pay those taxes. Well, now now that's over. I mean, taxes are pretty much over. Tuesday is the big day, tax day. After that, all over. What other things? Well, the news that the crypto market is open to 1.6 billion Muslims. Guys, that's like an eighth of the world's population, a seventh of the world's population, something like that, maybe even less, a sixth of the world's population. So that's a lot of people who can now buy Bitcoin. You think they're going to? Yeah, potentially, especially with some of the predictions as to how much Bitcoin is going to be worth in the future. We'll be taking a look at that shortly. But the Rockefellers are talking about getting into cryptocurrency. So the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Soros, all of them are into cryptos now. Why wouldn't they be? It's the money of the future. This is potentially paving the future. Where is it going? Well, some people say 250,000 by 2022. And if we take a look, here's a whole bunch of different predictions. So Pantera Capital, they say $20,000 within this year. I think that's definitely possible. We've already seen $20,000 last year. $20,000 again. That could certainly happen. Thomas Lee from Fundstrat, he says $25,000 this year. Anthony Pompliano says $50,000 within the year. Mike Dudas says $50,000 by next year. Alistar Milne says $35,000 to $60,000 by 2020. And then Tim Draper says Bitcoin $250,000 by 2022. Brian Kelly also says $250,000 by 2022. They also forgot $1 million by 2020, or else John McAfee sucks his dick. So don't forget that one, because we're all holding him accountable. No ducking this, John McAfee. All right, now, why do they say these things? Well, Brian Kelly, the guy who says 250,000 by 2022, says because Bitcoin is like the internet in the 1980s. It wasn't that fun back then. It took forever to load pictures. Like, you know what pictures I'm talking about. It took forever to load them. So that was not fun back then. But you've probably heard it before. Do you wish you invested in Apple when it was $5 a share? Do you wish you invested in Microsoft when it was $5 a share? Well, Bitcoin is the next Apple or Microsoft. And nothing could be truer. Now, just because I like to play numbers games, let's do that. Let's see what Bitcoin would be worth if it was worth, you know, the same as Apple and Microsoft. Well, Apple right now is worth $900 billion. Microsoft right now is worth $1 trillion. So if the total value of Bitcoin was equal just Apple and Microsoft together, what would that be? Well, if we just hold one Bitcoin, we divide that by the total number of Bitcoin, and you're saying, but hey, there's 21 million there. And I say, hey, 4 million are lost forever. So that would give us that. And then we multiply that by 1.9 trillion. So those are millions, those are thousands, those are hundreds. And then what do we get? Bam! $111,000 Bitcoin if it's just equal to Apple and Microsoft. I mean, what about Tesla? What about Facebook? What about Google? What about YouTube? What about Pornhub? What about all that stuff? So the potential for this is pretty big. It could be big, phenomenal. John McAfee may not suck his own dick. We'll have to see. But, I mean, all in all those things are great, but what's even better is just the overall market cap coming back up. People are having some faith in Bitcoin again, which is really nice. We see that coming back up. And then we see potential for maybe another altcoin bubble, because as the Bitcoin dominance was growing, it capped off right there at about 45%. Now it's coming back down. Are people playing riskier altcoins? Maybe. Could we have another altcoin bubble coming up? Maybe. Are we out of the bear market? Maybe. So, all of those things look exciting. I'm excited because, hell, when we make free money with Bitcoin and cryptos, feels so good, doesn't it? So that's what I want to say for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around, checking out the episode. I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.